Hi. It says I'm live. You know, maybe I've been a fool all my YouTube career. Well, I did go to the new beta uh, creator studio and I just wouldn't put the live stream key in. So I went back to the old. Yesterday, I tried broadcasting. Somehow my camera got messed up. So I didn't work. So I did a book report on Unfreedom of the Press yesterday, and then I said, "Well, I'm gonna come over here to the Zero Channel because the Zero Channel is the adult side, and so I guess you can let off steam over here, and the kids won't have to see it." So, anyways, I guess I'm getting out. Since I got one person watching, thank you. If you're gonna watch, say something over there. Come on, say something. Okay, now here's a big thing. I've been watching phase conjugates and how you can get the what do you call it? The paradigm of the universe to really work better because, well, I don't know. Anyways, I believe in lucid dreaming. Last night I had some powerful lucid dreams about, meat and tea. No, I was a house manager and we're managing two restaurants, well, a restaurant next to us, and they wanted to be competitive. And we ended up being the best friends, and between us, we did more success than if we had been rivals. So yeah, all I gotta do is adjust the set, maybe. Anyways, maybe the key is in what's happening in the news is see Mark Levine is a I did not realize, but he's he's at Fox, and I guess they're conservative. I'm an independent, of course, and anyways, he's talking about how the mostly over the years that this press in America has become called the Democratic Party press. And so I was going to read out of this book because I'm not doing a book report. So we're going to see how long it actually goes. So anyway, these are his words. In the back, he said, "It bears remembering that the purpose of a free press, like the purpose of free speech, is to nurture the mind, communicate ideas, challenge ideologies, share notions, inspire creativity, advocate, and reinforce America's founding principles. That is, to contribute to a vigorous, productive, healthy, and happy individual and well-functioning civil society and republic. Moreover, the media are to expose official actions armed at squelching speech and communication. But when the media function as a propaganda tool for a single political party and ideology, they not only destroy their own purpose, but threaten the existence of a free republic. It is surely not for the government to control the press, and yet the press is not capable of policing itself. We must remember we are not merely observers; we are the citizenry." From the introduction. Oh, so Mark Levine provides a groundbreaking, enlightening book of reveals how the great tradition of the American free press is denigrated into a standardless profession that has squandered the faith and trust of the American public. And perhaps that's uh, the new course for Zero TV is to help remedy some of those, problems in America. Anyways, let's see. Why did he have the thing? He goes on about the early Patriot press, and it says there's Copeland, I guess David A. Copeland writes that by 1768, Eads and others uh, built this gazette under the pseudonym Populus. There's nothing so frustrating, fretting, and vexatious, nothing so justly terrible to tyrants and their tools and abaters as the free press. So, anyways, let's see. Uh, oh, God. Oh, I guess here it is. Okay. Here now these are sites that he talks about how because they're ragging on Trump. When Trump goes out there and whips people up, it's like a Mussolini rally. And yes, that's what I said. That was MSNBC host Joe Scarborough, 31218. Another one. It's our responsibility to call out those times when constitutional norms are being challenged, those times when the President of the United States actually channels Joe Stalin and calls the media the enemy of the people. Joe Scarborough again. Donald Trump is like a racist, thinks like a racist, makes statements like a racist, conjures emotions. Well, I can't believe how this is behaving, this live stream. I'm hoping that it's getting out to folks. Hey, support us over at KRAZTV.com. You know, I haven't made any money in years. Never have, really. I made $2 probably. My sister gave me one. Gave me a couple, but I don't know. Why can't I find this thing? Well, stand with it. But all the people that went into the previous uh, maybe I have it at the bottom. That went into the previous administration from different uh, newspapers. So, oh, they talk about Wilson doing sedition. You know, uh, Wilson really cried. Oh, the Federal Reserve, they tricked me. Oh, we got zero, so nobody's watching. Thank you. We must be effective. Well, I'm not going to. Oh, what do you call it? Accuse anybody of any of that. Probably, if we got rid of political parties and had a citizen activism and practice your religion, but not in public. Who knows? You know, that's why I've got this channel. It's called the Zero Channel. Maybe somebody went off to go get somebody else, so maybe they can bring in 2 or 3 people and they can listen to it. Oh, I wish you could talk. I could find that in here because he talks about all the different people that went over. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here it is. It says the Atlantic Elizabeth Reeve uncovered. Now, this was here. It says the Center for Public Integrity, a leftist center organization, reports that conventional journalist wisdom holds that reporters and editors are referees on politics playing field. It says News editors and television anchors, as well as other donors known to be working journalists, have contributed more than $360,000 to presidential campaigns of Clinton and Trump. Nearly all the money, more than 96%, benefited Clinton. Now, I'm reading from the book, so these are not my opinions or any of that stuff. And what of the incestuous relationship between journalists and the last Democratic administration? On September 12, 2013, The Atlantic, a progressive media outlet, reported that these were at least 24 journalists who transitioned from media jobs to working in the Obama administration. Now, I guess that's what you call a revolving door, right? Like a lobbyist and all that. Here's some of what Atlantic's Elspeth Reeve uncovered. Time managing editor Rick Stengel moved to the State Department as Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs. Douglas Brants, who wrote for the New York Times and the LA Times, was an Assistant Secretary of State for Public Affairs. Boston Globe online politics editor Glenn Johnson was a senior advisor at the State Department. Washington Post writer Steve Barr moved to the Labor Department as Senior Managing Director of the Office of Public Affairs. I'm just reading from the book now, so you can blame, Mark Levin, but how can you blame somebody that's actually citing facts? So, Washington Post congressional reporter Shayla Murray became Vice President Joe Biden's communication director and later senior advisor to President Obama. Rosa Brooks was a columnist for the Los Angeles Times before taking a position with the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy. The Washington Post's Desmond Thompson left the paper to serve as a speechwriter for the U.S. ambassador to Britain. Roberta Baskin, a one-time CBS News investigative reporter, joined the Department of Public and Health and Human Services as a senior communications advisor. The Washington Post, Warren Bass, an Outlook section deputy editor, joined then United Nations Ambassador Susan Rice as director of speechwriting and senior policy advisor. Education Week reporter David Hoff moved to the education department. CNN senior political producer Sarah Johnson joined the Department of Transportation and later became chief of staff at the Federal Aviation Administration. The Chicago Tribune Jill Zuckman moved to the Department of Transportation as communications director. Richard Weiss, who worked for the Washington Post, became communication director and senior policy strategist for the White House Office of Science and Technology. Former CBS and ABC reporter Linda Douglas joined the Obama campaign and was later communications director for the White House Office of Health Reform. New York Times reporter Eric Dash moved to the Treasury Department's Public Affairs Office, as did MSNBC producer Anthony Reyes. CNN Anish Rahman worked for the Obama campaign and later as speechwriter for President Obama. CNN's national security reporter Jim Scioto, formerly with ABC News, served as chief of staff to the United States ambassador to China, Gary Locke. And San Francisco Chronicle environment reporter Kelly Zito joined the Environmental Protection Agency's public affairs office. So, I guess that's why he cites that if you get all those people that join and put one slant on it, that I guess he has to put his slant in this book to show that. So, slant upon slant. Maybe the two together can hold up a point. We'll hear. Maybe they all will support the Zero Channel. It's an adult side. We got this book at the Tucson, Pima County Public Library. Get it at your library like we did. Library here in Pima County in Tucson, Arizona. Unfreedom of the Press Mark R. Levine. I hope that this has been my longest rant. And civil sound man, usually I go foaming at the mouth on some craziness and blaming somebody else, probably for my own inadequacies about learning how to stream. So maybe today was a better day, and I hope it is for everyone in America. Let's get together. Thanks and keep watching. Ciao, ciao.